I don't especially expect anybody to be like up around, but I'm up, so. And I was playing Animal Crossing anyway. I was trying to figure out what I was doing wrong. Why this used to be so much easier for me, and I think I overcomplicated it a ton. Because when I first started, I literally just, like, whenever I wanted to play a video game, I just streamed it. And I think I've let it get too complicated. And it's become like a blocker now. So I'm just gonna play Animal Crossing because it's Sunday morning. Also, my turnip price was literally 90, which is the minimum price, so I bought a bunch of them. Wait, what was this? Wasp. Dang it. I don't want to get chased by wasps. Oh my god, Jet, hi! Good morning. For me. It must be a reasonable time for you. Wow, I was super not expecting that. How are you? How you been? Yay! Hooray! That's very exciting, and during Pride! Is it the best? Do you feel like so you in it, and yeah. Oh god, that's great. Soft boy! Yeah, I've been so delighted by this whole thing, this whole journey. You're gonna be the best, soft boy! Holy shit, is that a crane? Oh my god, with like devil bears! I have not seen that before. Yay! Best soft boy! Oh my god! Man, I love when people are like going through their like style formation. Oh wow, I think I was trying to say style transformation and like portmanteau them, but style formation is more accurately correct. What is happening? I was like comfortable before when I set the camera. Then I got up and did stuff, and now I can't find the comfy position again. Usually that just happens because I'm like gone from wanting to be completely flat on my back, dead, to like, no, I want to be upright now. That's probably what happened. I've penned myself in though. Guess I'm stuck down here. I'm not lazy, I'm just stuck in the frame. What kind of clothes did you get? Do you are there like clothing like pieces or colors or materials that are like your favorites? I have a real weakness for shoes. Oh my god, you're so cute. Ooh. Is it very soft? I love very soft hoodies. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I was not expecting anybody to be chatting, so I'm gonna bring the screen closer to me. Which is why it's on wheels. Hey! Huh! I'm so glad. Yes. Pics, please. Hooray. I remember what I was doing. I was going to Harv's. Wow, I am quite energized now. I wonder if I can stay up without napping. Or, I mean, like a short nap would be okay. I ended up staying up really late last night and missing the sleep train. But it wasn't like insomnia type of bad, where it's like a miserable tossing and turning, I'm tired and I want to sleep kind of experience. It was just like, oh yeah, no, I like napped a little bit and that's all I needed. I like got as much rest as I needed for the moment. And I'm very, very glad that instead of artificially waiting until what seemed like an appropriate time to stream, I was way more consistent at streaming when I just streamed whenever I wanted to play a video game, regardless of what time it was or how long I had or whatever. I overcomplicated it. So now I'm gonna try to get back to my roots. The thing is, I was trying to make it simpler by adding all the things that would allow me to make it simpler for me to do whatever whenever I wanted. And I achieved that, but significantly less so. But then I don't know, like then I started just getting in my head about like having to do something or like at a time. So this feels very like, I remember that back when, like especially that I'm doing Animal Crossing, like I remember back in the day, I used to like get up in the morning when the new thingy, hey, aw yeah, derby. I used to, first thing in the morning when the big 2.0 update for Animal Crossing dropped, I would like get up first thing in the morning and I would just like turn on the stream immediately and just start decorating houses. At some point that started to feel like, oh no, that is the wrong time, or something. Wait, what am I doing? Oh. Right. There we go. I need to retake my password picture because it annoys me every single time I see Katrina do it. Yeah, why don't I do this more often? I'm like so much chattier than like when I have let a whole day's worth of anxiety just fall on my shoulders. Daw. I'm gonna have a job and health insurance and money. I have actually been very productive the last few days, even though it's been hot as balls. And I've been exclusively productive in the productive procrastination kind of way, where anything that I explicitly want to do, yay! Anything I explicitly want to do, I can't do, but I'll get a whole lot of other things done in the meantime. Oh my god! So cute! So cute. I'm giving you a selfie smile right back. Oh wait, I forgot to read it. I always forget to read it. Which one was it? Fine. Actually, I think a good part of it was that by the time I would get around to being ready to stream, the fact that my apartment is backlit in the daytime, and it didn't matter that much when I set it up because the days were a lot shorter. But then it would be like it's like light until like 8 o'clock, and more than that from like 4 or 5-ish on, there's like a really harsh beam going straight in. So I think that's why I moved the camera, and I was like so that I wouldn't be backlit. Yeah, no, I mean every time I lose momentum on something, it's because I've gotten in my head and I just need to break through a barrier. It's never a real barrier. It's just an executive dysfunction thing. Yeah. Let's do some decorating. What makes something look like a wedding chapel? More pink and white. Chapel. Ooh, I like the white rug. Ooh, wedding candle set. That's pretty. That's new. I don't have that. Oh, and I don't have that either. Excellent. So, I wanted to play more Animal Crossing starting in June because the first year of Animal Crossing, June is when I fell off. And so what's the word? All the things that I'm missing are from June on, including a lot of the stuff from this event. A chapel? Alright, I will clearly want to sit up now that I'm awake. Thought I'd be sleepily lying here. Does that work? Ah, the lighting is still funny. I'm gonna have to hide down here. Alright, this is actually still better though. For some reason, that's the sound that I have found myself making on multiple occasions whenever I'm testing the microphone level. My new power strips have arrived, thank God. At least when the light hits my hair, it looks awesome. Look at all that. This hair experience has shown me that the effect of a rainbow is very much made by the orange and the yellow. For a chapel, let's start with an arch. Oh my god. Can you imagine? Wait, let's change the wallpaper. Yeah, that's way more chapel-y. Might be able to do better on the floor, too. Let's not basements, just something. I think that actually would. Which let's straight by. It's the most believable. Yeah, that's actually pretty believable. Maybe I could do the back wall. Something different. Something where you can see outside. Huh. Huh. This actually looks like Makkah. Like the Kaaba in Saudi Arabia, which I went to a couple of times when I was younger. Like, noticeably. Not that I think it's actually based on it in any way, just like that effect. It is a very grand place, for sure. And impressively timeless. The way they did it. Okay, do I have to find that wall again to remove the accent? Actually. I guess I do. Darn. All right. I could put some flowers and stuff up there. I feel like there should be an arch, but I don't know that any of these like look right inside. I already did an outdoor one, so I feel bad forcing another outdoor one. I mean, I could do the balloons backwards. I could do the bunny day, but that's just mean. That's just very outside looking. I used the pergola. Balloon arch. Alright, how about next we'll do something like a podium. And then like the pews, you can make them more pewy. austere. Oh, wow. These are very cute. What about these candles? Nice. I don't know where I put them. Getting to be a little too much. I'm definitely going to keep this one simpler than usual, because I just want to get this stuff and then move on to doing other things. I still want to make a bit of an effort. I think I tried just, like, showing up and just getting the stuff. It doesn't sit right. Isn't there a ring somewhere? It's where I bought a ring at some point recently. Alright, yeah. We're rapidly getting to the end of my interest in making much more of this. There we go. That's nice. There it is. Woo! Yay! New item for me. I'm glad I bothered to do this. The heart crystals are so pretty. God, Cyrus is so annoying. Do you have candles? I like those. Aw, that reminds me of the emote, the kiss emote. It's weird, I was actually like, I think disproportionately excited by the new haircuts that they added. And disproportionately disappointed when I ran out of new haircuts. To go to work. Anyone interesting? Not that I see. Toothbrush. You look very attacky, and you're looking attacky over my body, and that worries me. Can you walk around me before you attack something? So you don't scratch me? Possibly? Maybe? Kitty? I just tried the regifting thing the other day, and they totally do, like, immediately notice, and it's really cute. Okay. Back to work. My very important work. Here. Do I not have a shed here? Oh, here it is. Huh, this is... It's gonna need some thought. That looks nice. The idea of that being elevated is nice. I had a really nice, like, entrance going, but... which I could still do here. Have I ruined the effect of this by having it on the wrong level, though? Decisions. on the right track. Alright, I have all this dead space. I had a really nice entrance going in this area. Sweet. I don't know why I'm that excited about it, but cool. Is it new? I don't know. I feel like you always say yes when it's brand new. Okay, I do like all this. This is slightly dead space, but it's not a big deal. Got that nice bath here. Did this look better in the corner? Maybe taking a ladder to it actually would be romantic. Oh, I could make it a little island. Just like dig it out completely and you have to climb a ladder to it. The pool in front. That could be kind of cool. And then make this whole entrance here. Or I could widen this. Yeah, this not having like a level right underneath would probably give it more grandeur. I do have a ladder setup. Not a ladder setup, a staircase setup. Okay, just here. Where do you enter? As much as that looks kind of nice there, I think it would look better near wherever I put that. This doesn't have to be raised, but I like the look of it, like off of cliff. This definitely does give me a more, like, usable space to make it, like, not such a weirdly long spot and, like, square it off a little. You know? I get very, like, unfortunately hung up on pre-existing, staircases. They hem me in way past, you know, when they were, whatever it is that they were placed for. Because I'm, like, too impatient to actually, like, give them. Because instant gratification. Yeah, I'm already liking this. All I would have to do to get rid of it would be to time travel. And I've done it before when I'm, like, in the zone doing construction. I'm not, like, doing it on for some reason. That I, like, really don't understand. I don't think it's, like, the obvious. Oh, if it's like this, I can actually still hop over there if I need to. Okay, proof of concept achieved. But first things first. Gotta move all of this pretty bath stuff. Kitten. Who's another kitten? Who's an orange kitten? So much better. Already feels good. The spa was too, like, longular. Oh, this is so relaxing. Yeah, I think there's definitely going to be a nap in there today. I still really have to... Okay, so... my buddy Blank, whose beard I was dyeing last time I was streaming, was... Or one of the last times I was streaming. Was going on a trip, on a work trip, and I was supposed to go and check on his cats. And, I needed, like, executive function motivation to go and check on his cats. He happens to live very close to Kit. So, I asked Kit to leave a box, outside his door with a cocktail mix for me. So that when I stream and I wanted a cocktail, I wouldn't have to, like, make anything. I could just, like, maximally lazily, have a cocktail. But then I, like, didn't go until, like, midnight. So I came back and I was, like, not gonna stream at midnight, so it's still in my fridge waiting for me to, like... And I'm not gonna drink at 9 in the morning. Not least of all, probably primarily because it's just gonna put me straight to sleep. I suspect that I'll stream until I get really nappy. I'll nap, and I'll do some productive stuff, and then I'll have like a more traditional drinky stream. There was so much about the setup that I had before that was perfect. And it's always a shame when I try to, like, rebuild something, move it, or, like, expand it. And it doesn't quite look as good as it did before. There's something that, like... So... One of my low-key goals is that before I start my new job, I, like, kind of finish my island. Like, I don't have... Like, I take all the spots and I remove all of the, like, the things that feel just sketchy. As in sketched out, not like creepy. Creepy is totally a look. Like that's great. See, this is a much better amount of room to work with to design like a bathhouse. My god, this was so tortured. Oh, this weird wall design. This is why I have to put creative projects down. Look at them again. Let's lay of the land. If the pool stays there, or the pool could be does sort of seem like it should be one more out, huh? I think it's only this far back because, oh wait, will this, hang on. Just a way to check. Yeah, that's fine. Are there any bads from the weird bath forest that I want to move here? Alright guys, we have to run to the bath forest. Yay! Okay, looks like I did remove something from here. So, like, should I move this setup? This sort of seems like that's the aesthetic. It doesn't have waterfalls, though. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. I'm like this close to ruining something that I love and looks really nice for like the vague idea of a thing somewhere else. cave here. I can move all this. Alright, I'm gonna not touch it until I'm sure I have a place for it. But this I think really could, like, work way better there. In fact, I think that when I put it there, like, the statues felt less good somehow. I can make this, like, flow into the forest better. This is all, like, clearly just... well, I don't know. I do actually like it. At some point, I have to go and check my mail, because my mail I have set up so that it doesn't beep at me, which means I'm constantly unaware of what's in it, or if there's things in it. And there's definitely is, because I keep buying things, never picking them up. Oh, that's so much fun. All right. I think I'm gonna need some management. Hey, Bookworms jumped in. Thanks for the contribution. Alright, actually, let's put all of this away for now. No, not these. These stay out. An accident. Ooh, these might look good. As might some of the bamboo. Okay, it's not important yet though. Right now, what's important is going through and figuring out how much space I want, what I actually want in the actual bath area. Eee!
How to cope with gender dysphoria. If you don't have any advice as you haven't gone through the experience, then body dysmorphia.
Gender dysphoria, body dysmorphia. I don't have direct experience, but apart from like the extremely like obvious blah blah, like getting a you know, like a blah blah competent blah blah therapist stuff, just because I feel like that's like, you know, it's almost like there's an asterisk on all advice ever that's like, yes, do that if you can, blah blah blah, all the normal asterisks. But I find that something that I find very comforting whenever I find anything difficult is to go online looking for first-hand accounts of people who have shared their stories, because like there's a non-clinical connection that allows me to feel like much less panicky about things that are complicated or tricky. Um, like, I mean, I used to do this with Cora when I really wanted to understand how somebody else, like, thought or felt, who was just, like, in a different situation from me. But, like, you know, when I was going through my whole thing about, like, trying to figure out my sexuality, you know, in the context of thinking that maybe I wasn't bisexual, maybe I was a lesbian. Like, weirdly, one of the things that gave me a lot more security was lesbian TikTok. Just because, like, there was just all of these little, weird little insights. Like this, and there's this Facebook group, which is how I, like, which inspired my, my screen name, which was, Make a Move You Useless Sapphic. And basically just have, like, lots of people sharing relatable, like, basically very relatable stories, especially in contexts where people would, like, give very supportive feedback and things. Basically finding a community of people who are, like, sharing from the same experience, but who, you know, where there are people who are further ahead than you, I find is really helpful for me, especially, like, you know, like, even that whole thing with, like, oh, blah blah, finding a therapist, blah blah. Part of the reason that I'm even blah blahing through that is because the person who is best equipped to give very detailed advice about, like, oh, don't forget to think about this when looking for a therapist, is still the people that I'm talking about, which is, like, people who have gone through this, are ahead of you on it, and, you know, like, have sort of, like, hopeful, productive, insight to share. It's like a support group, right? And it depends on what kind of person you are, which form of this will be most, like, useful and uplifting for you. I know that, content creator, shoot, what is her name? Okay, I forget right now. Anyway, so, like, you know, like I said, lesbian TikTok is, like, one very specific form of this kind of media. Forums like Discord are way more personal, and sometimes that's good, but I feel like it's not the ideal way to really curate the experience that you're gonna get to something that is, like, not going to get you down, I guess. Because people also, like, really share their problems in a very minute way. And I think that there are, like, broader fora that, like, are forums, like broader scoped forums that are more just hopeful. And, like, sometimes maybe it seems like platitudes, but, like, posting to a Facebook group and getting, like, you know, 90, like, supportive responses can be a really, really good way to, like, start down a journey, that, like, there's a barrier of fear between you and it. That's like the kind of thing that I do. Like, I remember when I first started streaming and I didn't know any better. Like, I didn't know about, like, Discord or anything. I, like, joined some Facebook groups, and it was really nice watching people, like, post things, and then people, like, just supporting each other or giving advice immediately, and like I said, the whole, like, coming out thing and figuring out my sexual identity and stuff like that. Like, it's that whole, like, it gets easier thing that I think is, like, a really good sort of feeling to focus on as a first step. And then, like, not focus on drilling down on, like, the logistics of exactly how to, you know, tackle specific problems that you haven't even encountered yet, which I think is a little bit more the, you know, like, the Discord more personal route, which I think is extremely useful, but a little bit intimidating right away. And so these are the ones that are a little bit more interactive. I think what's an even, possibly an even better earlier story is to like see one-way things. Like that's why I was trying to remember the name of that trans content creator. Anyway, but so like people who make one-way media, YouTube, like share their stories on like YouTube or whatever, that can be a really good in also, because that's also like a good place, like if there's somebody who has like a community, a following, like a content creator who has a following who's been through things like this or is an expert on this and talks about this kind of thing, they're also going to like be a good place, the good jumping off place for like, you can like check out their Discord and like their communities, and you'll be able to or see like what other YouTube channels there are, other content creators, and it's a good jumping off point to like find other things that like sort of how like I watched How to ADHD, which was like a really good way for me to find like the kinds of resources and the kinds of things that were like, oh, this is actually the tone of resource that like works for me. So I think that that's probably what I would do. I would try to find like some content creators, some personalities, and see which ones like make you feel sort of like which ones sort of speak to you, and use that as sort of like a nexus to find, I guess, other probably like supportive one-way things, where you're just like receiving, because I think that's much less vulnerable and it's much easier to go down a difficult path in like that not like less vulnerable thing. I've been there but find myself dissociated from myself and others when reading texts or chatting there. Okay. Disassociated from myself and others. So do you think that what you're looking for is like a live and person community? Does Twitch work better because it seems more live? Is that the sort of thing that like works better? Because yeah, I can't give specific advice about coping with dysphoria because I haven't experienced dysphoria or anything that I think is very similar and has like comparable skills. But this is how I would go about trying to find a new set of like resources for a new problem I'm trying to tackle for myself. I would sort of try to find the like safe, happy place with all of the people who want to help and want to give me more resources and want to direct me to wherever it is that I will be happy. Sort of like how I found myself being eventually directed to like through Twitch to like Discord, just like the happy places. Or someone who is maybe going through something similar as me. Many people I find either are already transitioning or are in relatively accepting communities. So you explicitly want to know about how to cope in the face of external pressures or external barriers or obstacles to acceptance, it sounds like. And you want a community, so you actually don't want people who are ahead of you. That's like, that might be a me thing. I like to have people ahead of me to sort of tell me it's going to be okay and pat me on the head and be like, you're doing fine. But if you prefer to have people who are like where you are, I find that way more stressful because like then I feel like, oh, we're all like, have anxiety about the same thing and like none of us have the answers. But I also totally understand that like, that's also has its own feeling of not being alone. But I still, I think, do the same things. I know it's gonna be okay for me. I know where I'm going and how I want to achieve it, but I'm struggling in my path there. Okay, so actually, this seems like a more specific, like less intangible than I initially interpreted. Um, Now I actually really do think, because this sort of sounds like how to ADHD for me, where it's like this gives like super specific like tools, mechanisms, all that stuff. I think that yeah, like diving in not to engage, because that's the thing that you're saying, makes you feel disassociated and like draws your attention to the ways in which like your situation is different from other people. But like dive into those same spaces and instead say like, hey, um, does anybody have like any resources like a content creator or YouTube channel or something that like achieves that like has specific that coping tools for X, um, as opposed to just I guess like a more broadly touchy feely like um, supportiveness, like vague supportiveness. It sounds like you're looking for more like how do you explicitly cope with this, and that also frankly sounds also more like you're looking at like specific specialty like therapists would be probably ideally suited to that level of specificity in terms of like try this to like what is your precise problem, and this is a specific thing that you can try to do to help you cope with this thing. That's actually like a pretty, I think we're sort of closing in on like therapist is more ideal, like you're probably closer to that point. um Therapist for specific to you, and resources that are for and by people who are um experts. It's just about finding them. Hey, cat, you're such a tease. I want a cat. My other advice is get a cat. Here. You're very soft. Are you sneezing? Say hi to Cranky. You should get a spider. You should definitely get a snake. Snakes are soft. Snakes are very soft and nice to pet. Okay. Oof. I don't see it. I wish I saw it. You probably have space for a snake. You can basically keep them in a tank, right? You can hide like a snake tank under your bed, which would be rad. Oh god, an NYC. Yeah, no, you can't do anything. That's fair. I am originally from, like, suburban New York. So yeah. I'm with ya. Clawfoot tub. Maybe not. I think we might be moving to Griftlands. The creativity juices are starting to ebb. But they have done some solid work here. I can feel, like, inspiration at the edge of my brain. There's something that'll pull this concept together for me. Thank you, Cranky. You're always such a delight to have around. Sleep well. 12:40 a.m. Whoa. No wonder, like, you catch me. Because it's like 9 in the morning here. Love you too. Mwah. The planter seems like a maybe. Look at me not quite totally committing to stopping. Very me. I think part of me is just making the spa that Ro takes me to. A little bit. And I think that I'm getting confused because the part of me that's doing that is also sort of part of me is doing that and another part of me is resisting it at the same time. I should just lean into it. There actually is bamboo outside of that place, which is hilarious because it's just like in downtown Silicon Valley. It's hilarious. It makes no earthly sense. Alright, I'm clearly going to attempt to do some of this. More than nothing. But that's okay, once I start struggling, I'll stop. Right. Alright, let's model this. Oh, I could put like... know, it does look really nice in its own little bubble. It does just look very nice. Yeah, that just looks nice. I could put showers here. Once again, just being silly. Alright, what else we got? Whirlpool, outdoor, golden turtle. That's something. That's not bad. The stone does seem like the thing for the pool, right? It's slowly coming together. Even if it does require me to do this like 10,000 times. More room for sand. This does feel good, though. Finally feel like I'm clearing this up. This whole thing has been a giant dead space entire time. Because at first I was building like a little community here with like a community pool with like all the village houses and stuff, like a beach community thing. It just did not work. I could not get it to work. All these expensive butterflies. Not now, expensive butterflies. I'm not catching butterflies right now. I'm making a bathhouse. Too cool to have this like quite close to the edge. The whole point of this is to be like just dying of constant envy that I don't live on this island. That's the feels that I want when playing Animal Crossing. I do love this. Ha! No look shot. Have like a reception area. This will mean move down. Bathtub. Beautiful centerpiece. Bags. Probably do make more sense lined up, don't they? Oh, they really fit next to each other. Tetris. All of this is going to move forward when I get rid of this, and this is going to be where the entrance is. Yay! This is going to be where the dressing area will be. around some of the entrance stuff, so it makes me feel inspired. Ooh, the red and black does not look half bad. Ooh, I'm starting to get hungry. I have food right here too. I wanted to see if I had little beds. I feel like I just saw this in the store and didn't buy it. Even though I tried to buy one of everything. No, it was like a hospital bed thing. Watch me now go on a whole crusade to get it and then find like, oh no, this actually doesn't look as good as I thought it would. Reception desk. London. Mossy rock. closer. It'll end up being like right here. It could actually be on the side, I suppose. That'll probably be way more efficient. Something a little bit more like this. Sense, but since I'm not going to finish it now, I at least want it to look a little bit more presentable right now. It's a very good sign. It's not a standard I've usually been holding this sort of decorating sketching to. Hi kitty number 3, you've arrived. Kit cat cat, cat kit kit. Oh, good boy. And your bin. This jar. You're so good. You're so good. You're so good. Good boy. Should I put the bar up there or here? Okay, we'll store it here while I... Hello, good boy. Hello, my good boy. You are so big. Yes. Yes, that is a me. Oh my god! Oh my god, yes. This is great. I'm happy. Happy, Safi. Oh my god, you're purring so loud. I'm just gonna curl up with cat now. Oh, you're purring so loud. You are the best cat. Yeah, I do like the mossy one. Okay. Alright, the bathhouse is coming together as its own separate identity from the spacebar. Oh, maybe I should just push all of this back rather than push all of that front. Oh, that makes much more sense. Why didn't I think of that? Oh, I bet it was something in relation to the spa. Which is no longer relevant. Yeah, that's all clearly what it was before. Kitten. Oh yay, it's coming together now. Yay, this looks so good. And I can totally shave that, which would make me much happier. Oof, yes, thank you so much. Me. So it's still not clear what I should do with this whole area, but this still feels like a better start. Yeah, maybe we can do a staircase here. Yeah, okay, I think it's actually starting to become increasingly clear which things feel like they are for there and which things feel like they're for here. pretty expensive butterfly, I will give in. Right, this was the other thing. I need to move Diana's place. And I wanted to make this. I wanted to spruce this up a little bit. But I like it. I like the concept. This definitely needs attention. This whole area. So I have this seafood restaurant. Has a kitchen in the back. Has this whole very elaborate decorative thing. And I think that the entrance here is starting to come together. Sort of an extension of this boardwalk thing. I had this house. I could sort of make the bar come off of the house. This one. Moonlight. Wow, I'm surprised I'm allowed to do that close, but yeah. Okay, I can turn this into like the beach bar. Move all of that stuff down. Move this whole entrance. Oh, good. This has been driving me nuts. Still think the restaurant needs some editing. It's like this giant. And the house looks like it's part of this, like, bar, which I love. Great, so this is all this, like, beach club thing. Clean this up. Probably be a sandy beach bar, huh? With all this sand. And it would be so much nicer if the sand actually filled in. But anyway, this all fits way better now. To make it feel a little bit more the way that it used to, like this is the beach bar. I just gotta figure out this weird... It's a beautiful seafood restaurant. It has a bar. And a kitchen. And of course I have my ultimate unusable pool up here. Ooh. Stones look really good and it's so interesting finding out what my aesthetic is through this game and like a weird minutia that I never would have known. Like, oh, I really like stones. I say that, but I collected rocks as a kid. I was very proud of my rock collection. They were very pretty rocks. They were like colorful rocks that would get smoothed out that I found on beaches that I would visit with my family as a tradition. That one was playing with fire. Well, it was playing with water, which in this game is fire. I also need to tighten this up. I've slowly been stealing furniture from it. And like, it was perfect, and then I made it bigger so that I could put more stuff in it for, like, in prep for the expansion, which had cooking. And then like, now it's like empty looking. For my usual aesthetic anyway. Alright, I'm gonna pause for some food. I'll probably be right back. We'll see, unless I'm like 10 for naps. Food will either put me straight to sleep or perk me right the fuck up.